Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. The President William Ruto's United States of America trip entered its day 2, and as we promised, we are following every step, every corner, and what is really going on. And this is the best channel that will cover it for you on analysis this side. In part of the team that flew with the president was Eddie Butita, a filmmaker who was to represent the creative industry, because the president's team was supposed to visit Taylor Perry Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. And because now that is our space, that is where now we also had to pay attention just to find out what is in it for us. There are different sectors coming through. But I want us to look at some developments here. I want us to look at some very interesting development here. And then we'll interrogate. Remember, the reason why we interrogate is we want the public to see the value, if there is. And also, where there is a problem also has to be pointed out. So the decision to visit Taylor Perry Studios was a best one, because that's one of the best, I think it's the best filmmaking studios in the world, priding of very amazing films in the world. Now, I want us to look at these photos one by one. When the president arrived at the Taylor Perry Studios, this is President exchanging pleasantries with Steve Harvey. He met Steve Harvey there. And Butita went there and tagged along the president. And as you can see here, he was there, and there seemed to be a time when even Butita was talking with Stephen Harvey, was giving Butita some advice or something. Even though the country, I've seen Kenyans raising the fact that Butita was underdressed. I don't know if there is something called underdressed. He was, he was, just to say the truth, he was looking so untidy. That was a good platform, a big platform as a person. And of course, we say it's a good platform even for image building. It is your time. So he needed to show up, to dress for the occasion, and really look good. Sometimes these opportunities that come once, so he was supposed to buy. I don't know whether when they were going there, was he told whether they were going to meet Steve Harvey, or how was it? Because Butita was not looking good. But in fact, hata watu wamesema hata kwa amevaa socks. But then look at that. Now, this photo has been shared widely, and I've seen people online, Kenyans in Twitter, Facebook, praising that we are represented, which is fine, and saying, the president has done well to give Butita that platform. And even on me, I think it's a big platform for him, for image building, for Butita. It's him. He's gone there and represented us, and I'm going to look at that. Then, just while there was, I want you to see, Butita was also around, but I want you to look at this video keenly. In this video, President is there, his wife, and the children. And the president's family were present. There are two videos, and I'm going to show you another one. The president's family were present, and there's now this photo to be taken. And then for the first time, the family of the president showed up. And you can see them now taking that video there. And Kenyans have asked, Butita was with the president, akawa kasilimiana with Stephen Harvey, and that, all that, and this. But in this photo, Butita was put off somewhere, was locked out, and William Ruto then took photos with the video, and rather someone took that video with the phone, with now with his children in his family. And by the way, there've really been this complaint and at that Taylor Perry Studios that the president family, watoto wake, are the ones that are busted in the picture. And that is not even the problem. My issue here with this Taylor Perry Studios visit is it's for the creative industry. If Butita is representing us, in what capacity? I'm just the president of what? Because Kenya Film Classification Industry, he's not a member. Kenya Film Classification Board, he's not a member of that board. No one has been picked from that board. And at what? He's also not a representative of the creatives. No angle. And that is not a problem. Butita can get there, can get that platform by privilege. It's also fine to get those privileges by being close to those who are in power. But what is the deal from there? Because I want to show you another photo. After coming out, the whole government team went and lined up behind here and look at these photos. All those who went to Taylor Perry Studios, these are them. Let me start. Aaron Cheriot, Senate Majority Leader. Then Sinyoei, PS Foreign Affairs. Carol Njogu, PS Diaspora Affairs. Ambassador Lazarus, US Ambassador. Kimani Ichung'wah, National Assembly Speaker, National Assembly Majority. Next to Kimani Ichung'wah, that is Wavinya Ndeti, Governor Machakos. Rebecca Miano, CS Trade. Monica Juma, that is the advisor, security advisor to the president. Ambassador Meg Whitman, the First Lady. Then that is a representative from Taylor Perry's. Then President. Then Butita. Then Anne Waiguru. Mama Gladys Wanga. Governor Homa Bay. Musalia Mudavadi, and Kombudo, who is a PS. Now, if we went, tell me, who amongst these people was representing creative industry? What is the deal? Because if you look at all these who are here, who is representing, who is negotiating anything? Or what is it? I'm comparing this to what happened at the, education fete, where there is an exchange program. So from the Taylor Perry Studios, is it wrong if we say that this was just a tour? It was just a site viewing tour. We're not seeing. No one from the Ministry of Sports, led by Ababu Namwamba, where the creative industry falls. Neither is anyone from ICT, Eliud Owalo's docket. And neither is anyone from Kenya Film Classification Board. And Butita is not representing any other creative industry here. Even in the film space, he's not a leader. But it is a good privilege for you to tag along Butita because you can get privilege to power. You know, sometimes you want to get these opportunities and kuna ile effort ya mtu sababu unamjua amepata that effort, which is very commendable. And so and you can see, you'll get, if you see some of these photos. What we came with from Taylor Perry Studios are just those photos. Or else, we were there to invite Steve Harvey to visit Kenya, which will happen, I know we'll be told, and that will be at our cost. So atakuja hapa, tunamlipa millions, this and that. Just the same way also First Lady invites pastors here. Maybe that's the least we can get from there. I'm waiting to see. And if just to know, I listened to speech by Steve Harvey while they were just there, and someone shared this video. Let's listen.
Well, I went over there and I proved it wrong because Africa is most king. All you have to do is build a bridge between here and there. You are who we are. If there was no Africa, there Tyler Perry Studios without you. There's nothing. This brother's studio was on his vision board 10 years ago. I saw it. I saw it. And now I take the biggest game show in the world. Look, I've been in TV for 30 years. I received it. TV Icon Award this past November. Nobody done more TV shows than me in America. You had bigger hits, but ain't nobody done more. I'm that dude. But listen, when I met my brother, and I know how God works, and he invited me to Kenya. It just so happens in September is when I end my vacation. So I'm going to start shooting Family Feud again in Joburg, but this time for Botswana. So I'm going to be on that side of the world, so before I go do that, I'm going to come see my brother. We're going to hang out in the kids. We're going to make some family happen. Thank you so much for having me. It's the dream come true. Welcome to, when Tyler Perry got here, nobody knows. This is as good as Paramount, Sony. Go walk around this lot. What this brother built is amazing. And so I'm just happy to be a part of it. And I'm here representing him today. And thank you all, Mr. President and the First Lady and beautiful family that I met. We're going to do some great things. We've already got some good people doing some stuff in Kenya. Might as well pile it on. And like I told the President, show business is 2 words. You got to have a good show, but you got to understand the business. Oh, yeah. And I want Africa.
Now, so that is, in his speech, no takeaway. It was just praising the partnership between US and Africa, and it is in order. I'm making some observations here, and one thing I'm seeing is this image that came out of members of President's family taking prominence in that Tyler Perry studio. I think it was a blunder because it turned it look like just another tour, another holiday tour. It was a big blunder on their end because number one, remember everyone, the country believes and the country is seeing that the US tour is taxpayers' money. And I know as a president, that was a big stage and everyone wants to go to US. If the public will start questioning, while the US tour was funded by taxpayers' money, in what capacity did we also airlift members of his family, especially the children? Maybe believing that maybe those children are in the country, here in Kenya. So that was a big blunder. Because them taking prominence, it's a situation where you are somewhere, and yes, we are in some official duty. It doesn't make it look official. And there is absolutely no problem, the children getting that chance. They could still get that chance, but that should not come out that clearly. Because it looks like just another family tour. Well, remember, there is an eye of the nation that the president is representing. And someone will start asking, so we didn't see, we pushed it out, was supposed to represent us and all that. I think the president's children busting into the picture at that point to the handlers, that was a big mistake. Number two, if Butita was to represent us as creatives in that tour, and I think it's very true. Immediately that report came out that by I think PS Yongei spoke it in Citizen during a JKL interview that the president will be visiting Tyler Perry studios. There was a lot of excitement on the creative space because they believed, quite a number of them will be airlifted. But what then comes out is there was just another props, there was just another propping, so that you will say, we've also been represented. But what is in it for us? So yes, Twitter is out to represent and was picked to represent us. But then it's just the representation of creating an image that it's just like going to carry, you go and take maybe one person with disability, then you go with him, then you say, even ask people with disability, you are represented. But in real sense, there is a lot of optics play in it. There is a lot of optics play in it. But I see what is most probably, and I'm just throwing my guess here. After this tour, the country will be told, or there will be another agreement for Steve Harvey or someone from Tyler Perry Studio, Tyler Perry Studios, to come in the country to give some talk to, some filmmakers and that, and something like a mentorship. I'm just saying that. But then that brings me to a very important point, that the partnership from Tyler Perry and Kenya for the Kenyan creative industry, I'm not seeing it that clear. Maybe we are overestimating. Because it's not on tape. I've tried to check, I've tried to look at the handles, what is in it for us, and we are still looking. I did not see. In Coca-Cola Studios, there is some 3 billion, fund I'm seeing, facility I'm seeing. But on this one, I'm not seeing. And so, this brings me to another observation I want to make, that the budget for the trip to US could have been less. The budget, the trip to US could have been less. We have so many other ghost attendees that we've just taken there. It could have been less on 2. We have some excess. Some excess for no reason. We have a lot of joyriders in US, by the way. Lot of joyriders. Because to say the truth, if President airlifted members of his family to this taxpayers' money, then that's a waste. But of course, someone will tell me they can afford in their own, they can afford their own. But on this platform, on this space, if they could afford on their own, they could still just walk in there sometime when no one is there. And that is not to say that is wrong. And number 2, I'm looking at some of these engagements in Atlanta. I will analyze tomorrow the Atlanta mission. And I feel like not really some of those things needed William Ruto. William Ruto would have just flown to US on Thursday and go to White House. Some of these things going and these partnerships, I look at them as they're in the level of waziris. The ministers would have just gone to Atlanta with their teams and signed some of these deals. The president just remains here, save on the money. Mr. Kiwa, it's not that expensive. We'll just go to US, save on, if it is that education, the education team, the ones, and then the health. I think there are only 2, the health and the education one. Those ones for today. Most of those engagements, I'm not seeing the presidential level, because, see, president is going to meet the president. Then it's actually watering down the essence of President Ruto and President Biden. You cannot go then meet all the mayors and the other fellows around. Then the next day, then you go to Washington. I think most of these engagements would have saved a lot. Zingine tungeacha waziri afanye nini, will not been hands-on. We elongated that president's tour to US for 5 days, but in real sense, it would have even been 2 days. Waziri angesign easy some of these deals. But that is my take, guys. I want to interpret a question that people have really asked me in this channel, and I want to clarify kidogo. Now, in this bold channel, we have 2 anchors. It is me, and I introduced Frank Oduor. Frank is also a journalism student, and Frank has been working with me for the last 2 years as my camera person. So I realized that some viewers were raising questions on why am I bringing another person and all that. But I just want to clarify and want to make for founder members and the new members of this channel, we've always agreed, and this is my personal conviction, my position, that humanity comes first. And we've always supported others. Apart from analysis. We've always done charity and supported many programs. So I found it right to take Frank off the camera, behind the camera, to come in front, so that can also gain the confidence and can also build a brand. And I believe in doing so, we are also uplifting Frank. This is a very, and that is normally a very special one for me, because even myself, I started behind the camera, and it had to take Mashirima Kapombe and Jalango who told me that, Kevin, kuja mbele. So what we are doing, the reason why we are having Frank and we'll have more, is we also want to use this platform to uplift others. I believe that with the time, Frank will catch up and will be one of the best analysts, and that will be my pride, and that should be our pride as members of the board. So I just wanted to make that clarification. That is why we are doing it, and it is for the good of this channel. So let's support, and I believe Kishakwa Strong atafungua yake and will be somewhere, and that should be our joy. Thank you.